Thanks for tuning in to hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin, a part of the Go Right Network on GoRightNews.com. We have a couple of articles and some viral videos to go over today. The Supreme Court leaker is still unknown, and Americans are drowning in debt. If you'd like to support our podcast, you can go to GoRightNews.com, click on the donate link, and donate. Or at least just share this. We have this and more coming up. I think it's time to go right.
We'll be right back with this story from Go Right News. You can follow us on GoRightNews.com for more information.
Hi, fellow patriots. This is Peter Boykin from hashtag Go Right. Share this right now. Time to go right. File this under things I didn't expect to see today. CNN finally acknowledges the truth about the Biden crime family's corruption. Quote, while Joe Biden swears by his name in politics, his son and two brothers spent years trying to benefit from the Biden name. CNN finally acknowledges the truth about the Biden crime family.
Despite his denials, a CNN review of the laptop data as well as other public material shows that Joe Biden did interact with some of his son's associates while serving as vice president, though it's unclear exactly what was discussed. One example, the Republican site, Miguel Alemán Magnani, a Mexican businessman and son of the former president who Hunter was trying to woo. In 2014, Alemán Magnani and his dad were photographed at the White House with then Vice President Biden. In a later email, Hunter Biden reminds Alemán Magnani of the favors he's done for him. We have been talking about business deals and partnerships for 7 years. I have brought every single person you have ever asked me to bring to the effing White House and the Vice President's house and the inauguration. Hunter Biden bluntly acknowledged the power of the Biden name in a memoir, writing that the Ukrainian energy company Burisma, which put him on its board, considered my last name gold.
I don't think that there's a lot of things that would have happened in my life that if my last name wasn't Biden.
Biden claims he was raised going to a black church, which is a lie. But if he was, why does he look so confused while attending a black church? Biden looks so confused at a black church. Watch this. Americans are drowning in debt. An ominous new report details how the rising cost of living, thanks Joe Biden, has led to an emerging crisis of household debt.
We'll be right back with this story from Go Right News. You can follow us on GoRightNews.com for more information.
Hi, fellow patriots. This is Peter Boykin from hashtag Go Right. Share this right now. Time to go right. Americans currently hold more than $16.5 trillion, a 7.5% increase from last year. Household debt is at a record high $165,000 per household. And the personal savings rate, the percentage of your income you save, crashed to 2.3%, just shy of the all-time low 2.1%. What's causing the problem? Even though inflation has come down a bit, it's still in out-of-control levels above 6%, leading to a higher cost of living. In the meantime, wages have not kept up with inflation, so Americans are technically making less than they were a year ago. Since 2020, the median income has gone up 7%, but costs of living have gone up 16%. This leads to them having to either dip into savings or take on debt, hence the numbers we just spoke about. Credit card debt. In order to make ends meet, many Americans are racking up credit card debt. 49% of Americans say they rely on their credit cards for living expenses. Average household credit card debt hit $1,500, up 28% from the previous year. Overall, during the COVID pandemic, Americans were able to put money into savings due to their inability to travel and go out to eat, plus government stimulus checks. That's the only reason they were able to muscle through 2022's inflation. Now, as we enter 2023, savings are depleted while inflation is still persistent. It's a recipe for economic disaster, and apparently high gas prices and high prices for eggs as well. The source of this is NerdWallet and Daily Wire. You can find those links to those articles through this article on GoRightNews.com. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you've heard about this George Santos guy. Most of his life is a lie, but 10 years ago he was apparently a drag queen. But here he is avoiding the press and avoiding his financial issues while trying to get on an elevator. Good luck. You fit right in.
You're accused of fabricating almost every single part of your life. Why do you deserve to represent people in New York?
Through the way.
Did you illegally?
Mr. Santos, there's some campaign finance concerns and questions about your finances.
Really?
Can you answer the
You guys
campaign
give me a little
finance
space,
concerns?
personal space, please.
A little personal space?
Why won't you answer our questions,
Congressman, you seem to be dodging
Don't the American
questions
people deserve
about
to
your
know some
finances
answers?
and about your background.
Congressman, what about those new accusations?
This is terrifying. The Boston Dynamics released a promotion video showing their Atlas robot in the workplace. And if you've watched Megan, yeah, you'd be a little scared too.
Forgot my tools again. Such a show off.
The Supreme Court leaker is still unknown. After a months-long investigation, the Supreme Court announced that it has failed to identify who leaked the draft of the court's opinion overruling Roe v. Wade.
We'll be right back with this story from Go Right News. You can follow us on GoRightNews.com for more information.
Hi, fellow patriots. This is Peter Boykin from #GoRight. Share this right now. Time to go right. The opinion, written by Justice Sam Alito, was released back in May of 2022, almost 2 months before the court issued its ruling, clearly politically motivated to pressure the justices to change their opinions and positions. It led to death threats, protests outside of justice homes, and even an attempted assassination of Justice Kavanaugh and his family. The investigation into the leak found that 82 court employees had access to the draft opinion, but were unable to identify a person responsible by the preponderance of the evidence. It did find that a few employees admitted to breaking confidentiality rules by, quote, their spouse or partner about the draft Dobbs opinion and the vote count. A bad precedent is set. Jonathan Turley, a prominent GOP legal analyst, summed up what it means to be the future of the court, writing on Twitter, quote, "What is clear is that any hope for a deterrent on such unethical conduct has been dramatically reduced. Thus far, the culprit succeeded in not only just leaking the opinion, but evading detection. Basically, no justice." Now, what happens now? The House Judiciary Committee says it plans to investigate the leak itself. The source of this is the Wall Street Journal, Jonathan Turley on Twitter, and Fox News. You can check out these links to these articles on this article on GoRightNews.com. Please share, and thank you for tuning in. Tucker Carlson ripped apart the globalist elites at the World Economic Forum as only Tucker Carlson can. Quote, "If one of these people shows up supervising the bake sale at your kid's school, call the police. They're not qualified." Tucker roasts meeting of the morons in Davos.
We couldn't meet at a more challenging time. We are confronted with so many crises simultaneously. What does it need to master the future? I think to have a platform where all stakeholders of global society are engaged.
We must master the future. Master the future. So mastering the future is now the top item on the to-do list at the World Economic Forum this year. That's the first clue these people are not living the same life you are. By the end of this week, you hope to find some time to get an oil change or maybe pick up some dandruff shampoo at Rite Aid. At the World Economic Forum, they plan to master the future. That's the kind of people they are. How are they going to do it, by the way? Well, they're going to do it with John Kerry, who, despite physical appearances, is still alive. Kerry will be 80 years old this year, so it goes without saying that if he's going to master the future, he'd better hurry. Thankfully, he's got a plan. Watch.
It's pretty extraordinary that we, select group of human beings, because of whatever touched us at some point in our lives, are able to sit in a room and come together and actually talk about saving the planet. I mean, it's so almost extraterrestrial to think about, quote, saving the planet. If you said that to most people, they think you're just a crazy tree-hugging, lefty, liberal, do-gooder or whatever, and there's no relationship. But really, that's where we are.
So, most people don't understand, but we are a select group of human beings, John Kerry tells the attendees of the World Economic Forum, who honestly did not need to be reminded of that. People may say we're crazy, tree-hugging, liberal do-gooders, but we know the truth, which is that actually we're soulless, greed-head money worshippers who'd sell our own children to China for a big enough tax credit. Shout out to you, Larry Fink, in the third row. Gets you at the sushi bar. That was John Kerry's message at the World Economic Forum, which is also effectively the WEF's credo. But then John Kerry went further. What we're doing today, he said, in saving the planet is almost, quote, extraterrestrial. In other words, if you ever suspected these people are freaking aliens, it turns out you're right. They are. And as if to prove it, Al Gore himself showed up. At 74 years old, Al Gore is as awkward, synthetic, and weird as he has ever been, since 8th grade to now. Though at this point, he's much, much richer thanks to Google stock. Ever notice how the richer people get, the more they seem like Bill Gates? It's not your imagination. Al Gore single-handedly proves that theory. Here he was today.
Look at the xenophobia and political authoritarian trends that have come from just a few million refugees. What about 1 billion? We would lose our capacity for self-governance on this world. We have to act.
Always angry, always shouting. Fatter but still grumpy. They're climate refugees now. They're climate refugees, millions of them. They're not economic migrants fleeing the squalor of Tegucigalpa for the generous social services of El Paso. No, they're not. They're climate refugees who have no choice but to risk their lives with coyotes because you drive a full-size Silverado. Illegal immigration is your fault, Middle America. It's not our fault. We got nothing to do with it. We just run the world. If this is all starting to sound like a bad CNN segment to you, a parade of self-confident dumb people, rich in self-esteem, low in wisdom, giving moralizing lectures to one another's applause, well, let us confirm that for you. Where was Don Lemon? Why wasn't he there? Well, he wasn't. That's a next year's program, no doubt. This year, we're not making this up, America's favorite unemployed media critic, Mr. Brian Stelter, ladies and gentlemen. Watch.
The clear and present danger of disinformation is our conversation here this afternoon. It follows a session just now about disrupting distrust, and of course those are connected, so I hope that's where we can start. I'm Brian Stelter, formerly of CNN, now a fellow at Harvard University. A reminder that the hashtag is WEF23. We can try to put some real information out into the world to make up for all the crazy.
Make up for all the crazy. The conclusion this year at the World Economic Forum is that people who are not at the World Economic Forum have too much free speech, too many bad ideas, too much crazy, and too much opportunity to talk. They're still talking out there. Stop them before they talk some more. So if you're getting the impression that the world's most mediocre people and least self-aware people are all congregating in Switzerland this week, you are on to something. In fact, it might be worth getting an attendee list just to make certain that not a single person who is there this week ever has power over you in any way. If one of these people shows up supervising the bake sale at your kid's school, call the police. They're not qualified.
Thanks for listening to Go Right with Peter Boykin. Please like this post, and please subscribe and follow and share this podcast to all your social media accounts, and visit GoRightNews.com for more Go Right News with Peter Boykin. If you like what you hear, help support the podcast by donating. The link to donate is on GoRightNews.com. Thank you for your support.
Check out this news story and more on GoRightNews.com and the podcast #GoRight with Peter Boykin.
Go right and register to vote. Your vote matters, so vote. Go right and vote. #Go Right. Go right. Do right. Be right. Go right. Do right. Be right. Lead right. Think right. Vote right. Vote right. Think right. Lead right. #Go Right.
It's time to join the Go Right movement. It is time to #Go Right for America. Join us at GoRight.us and GoRightNews.com. It is time for the Great American Revival, and it is time to #Go Right for America. Thanks again, everybody, for listening to this, and please share it everywhere. Again, this has been #Go Right with Peter Boykin, a part of GoRightNews.com.